What's up, everybody? This is Podcast Gameoverse, episode 093 for Tuesday. It's Tuesday, February 1. I am Wasabi. Oh,
You can hear me?
yeah, you're live.
All right.
Caller, go ahead.
Sorry, it cut out for like a second. I just heard,
Oh,
I almost saw you, and it just like faded, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
oh, that was weird. I've got my
Yeah, it was
gate
weird.
real high. I'm gonna turn that down. What's up? What's happening?
Not much, man. I'm happy. I'm here. This is fun. I look forward to this shit every week. We couldn't do it on Saturday because I had some shit to do. But you know what? We're
Yeah.
here now, and we've been playing some fucking games, man. I'm excited.
I was gonna
We
do
have
this by
quite a bit to
myself
go over.
on Saturday,
Yeah.
but I was having some work done on my clothes dryer, which is right outside the room that I record in. And I think eventually they just gave up on it because now it's just not even there anymore. I think they just dragged it out, took it out back. I don't have a dryer right now,
Oh,
so
Jesus, that
yeah.
is frustrating. I
I've just
can't
been air
imagine
drying.
like that sucks.
It's been fine
Well,
actually.
air drying kind of sucks because like if you don't dry it fast enough, it gets that like musty smell and like I don't know. I guess if it's just you, it's not a big deal. But like with me and my wife, like it's a lot of laundry. When we do laundry, we do it in like bulk. So we do a fuck ton of laundry at one time. So I can't imagine having to air dry all that shit.
Oh yeah, see, I do mine like a little at a time. It's probably a waste
Yeah,
of water, but I wear the same thing
yeah,
every day.
that'll. Yeah, so for you, I guess it works out. That shit would not fly for me.
Yeah.
I would fucking go crazy.
Guys, this is a podcast about video games. You do this live on twitch.tv/Gameoverse, or you can go to gameoverse.com/Twitch. It's probably the link I should give you, or gameoverse.com/YouTube, or gameoverse.com/Discord. And you can chat with us live as we do this. Throw insults at us. Probably don't do that, but throw like questions at us, and we'll talk about whatever you want us to talk about. Also, like this is like usually around like a 2 hour podcast, so if you don't got time for that, we have the show notes below every like right underneath the YouTube video. Boom, show notes right there. Also, YouTube's probably the best way to watch this or listen to this because I put chapters in it, so you can kind of skip through all the stuff that you find interesting or don't find interesting or whatever. But all the info, all the links are going to be there in the info wherever you're listening or watching this. So do that if you ain't got time to just sit here and listen to us ramble about stuff because we often do get off topic. So
We often do. It's always fun though. Like, and that's why I like doing this live because we can have people come in, talk with us. It might fuck with the structure, but that's part of the fun, man. And I'm
yeah,
excited. Like I said, I love doing this shit. I do this every week and I love it.
yeah. So yeah, so do that if you're interested. And if you're not, well then just sit here and use us as background noise. I think that's how most people treat a long form podcast like this. It's just I'm just
Yeah.
gonna turn this on and tune in when I'm interested. There's something stupid, which it's gonna happen. Uh, yeah. So, did you play any video games? Because I did not. I'll be honest with you.
I am glad you asked. So I played a couple of games. I finally played Hitman.
Yeah.
Took me a while to get it working because like the Xbox for some fucking reason, Game Pass has a weird way of prioritizing its downloads. So those of you guys who don't know, the entire Hitman trilogy is available in Hitman 3. So you can pick up Hitman 3 and you can get the first two games in it as DLC, but on Game Pass they are available all together. It's just super weird because when I downloaded it and started it, it didn't give me the option for 1 and 2. The game had just downloaded Hitman 3 and it didn't download the first two. So I had to like go back, re-download it. And once that was done, I played the tutorial. And then after the tutorial was done, which the tutorial canonically takes place before Hitman 1, and it just jumped me right into Hitman 3 when I finished the tutorial. It didn't even take me back to the main menu. it just like skipped through everything in a game like a highlight reel of like, oh, here's what happened in the first 2 games. And
That's
it just
funny.
like jumped me into the third game. So yeah, that's a thing. I had like out of context spoilers for Hitman 1 and 2. But finally, after I got the fucking thing where I wanted to, I started playing through it. I played through the whole tutorial, so the first tutorial missions, and I played through the first mission in France with the fashion show. And these games are fucking excellent. Holy
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, yeah. I never played the original Hitman games on the PS2 and the original Xbox, so I don't have any nostalgia for them. But
Yeah.
these new games, dude, fuck, they're so good. Um, Ignore the footage on the screen. That's the original game there. That's not the newest one, but the newest one's available on Game Pass and it's fucking excellent. They are long form stealth games with very open elements. So there's missions you can take on, and the missions are super simple, like kill this target, not a big deal. But you could explore the world and find different ways to kill these targets. And there's even submissions after you finish it. They're like, oh, kill the target doing this to earn more XP. And it's so cool. You could be hanging out and listening to people talk, and then they'll tell you, like, oh, I don't want to. Did you hear about that meeting we got to go to with the boss? It's like, yeah, we got to be there in like the next 5 minutes. Oh, it's a waste of time. There's not gonna be any security out here. And then it pings on you, and it's like, oh, this is where your target's gonna be, just from like exploring the area. It's so fucking cool. Like, I must have played the first tutorial mission on the boat like a dozen times, just seeing different ways I can take this target out. Um, I played it the way the game wanted me to, so I just followed him, waited till he was alone, shot him, and took off. And there's another one you can do where you can dress up like the guy who's gonna meet him and then meet up with him and then take him out while you guys are alone. You can like make it look like an accident and drop a boat on top of him. It's insane how much variety the game gives you. And after you do a mission, I didn't know this because I only played the tutorial missions, which are pretty small and simple. But when you beat the first mission and you unlock different goals, it actually gives you different ways to start it on top of it. So
Yeah.
instead of starting in trying to sneak your way in, suddenly it's like, oh, you can dress as a cook and start in the kitchen, or you can dress as security and start in the security room, or dress as maintenance and start up in the rafters for the controlling the lighting. It's so cool. I love how much choice this game gives you. My only complaint with it, and it's a personal problem, is I'm really, really bad about save scumming, man. I'm constantly saving, and if something doesn't go the way I want it to, I'm loading up that last save. Um, and that's a problem I have because I feel like the game would be a lot
Well,
better if I just owned up to my mistakes and just improvised my way out of it. But I know it's a me problem
that's
when
no,
I
that's what
do
you're
it. But it's
supposed to do. I don't know if
yeah,
you've done any of the elusive targets yet.
no, I haven't.
They're
I haven't played gotten to that. What is
the
that?
the elusive targets are special targets that you can only do one time. And if you fuck it up,
Oh,
you can never do it again. I think they've gone back and kind of adjusted that stuff a little, but they used to come like weekly, like every Friday. There would be a new elusive target, and you can only attempt it once, and you couldn't save scum
ah,
or do anything. It would be like a completely random set of circumstances that you had to complete too. So you didn't
okay. So
know
you
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 didn't know what
couldn't save
conditions
scum
were.
that one, or
Yeah, and then those ones you can't save scum, you can't save or load or do anything. It was just a one-time
okay,
thing. You attempt it, and if you fail, you can never do it again.
okay,
Um,
that's really cool. I like that.
I think they're in there now that you can just pick whatever one you want, but you still can't like save scum or whatever.
Okay, I think that's what I need to do. I need to play some of those, or like I know there's like a higher difficulty mode that like disables only gives you like one save for a mission, so I might try that.
Yeah,
And I know it's a me problem. Like people are just like, well, just don't save scum. Like, no, it's not that easy. I need the game to force me not to do it, so I don't do it. But no, it's really, really cool, man. I really like the variety in it. I really like how big these levels are. Um, I had no idea how big these are gonna be. and how much variation there are in these targets, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, dude. I am in love with this game so far. It doesn't quite scratch that itch Metal Gear Solid 5 does, because Metal Gear Solid's a bit more action heavy. So I don't know if Hitman's gonna get like that later. But I do
Yeah.
like what I'm doing here. It's got this like immersive sim like feel to it, where I can interact with the environment, find different ways to meet my goals. It's dope. I really like it, and I think it's definitely worth it. Again, it's on Game Pass, so just go try it, man. If you don't like it, just delete it. But it's so good. I love the way the game works. Um, on top of that, here's my come as a surprise, but I actually played Astral Chain recently.
What is
Now,
that?
that's an older game. It's a platinum game that came out like 2019. Um, I actually bought that game a couple years ago, and I'm gonna be honest, I fucking hated it when I first got it. Those of you who don't know, it's a bit like Bayonetta mixed with like Persona, in the sense that you have these like legions, these demon things that follow you around and work with you. And what's so cool about it is that the combat really relies on controlling your character and controlling this legion and doing team attacks and sync attacks. The problem with the game is that it fucking sucks in the first two chapters. It's fucking. I would go as far to say that I thought it was Platinum's worst game until I got to the third chapter.
Wow.
Because the game doesn't give you the. Because when the game first starts, it's very simple. It's like,
You
oh,
must not
here's
have
the
played Anarchy
combat
Reigns.
controls. I haven't played Anarchy Reigns yet, so that's true. Um, but the problem with the game though is that it starts out super simple. You only have one attack, which is just your baton attack. You can switch to a gun, but there's no variations in the combos. There's no light and heavy buttons. It's just one button to attack. And I'm like, okay, this kind of sucks. Maybe it'll get better once the Legion shows up. And then once the Legion shows up, it doesn't get better. You get a couple extra little abilities, but it's not better for it. You're basically just fighting with this thing kind of running around doing its own thing. You have some minor control, but not a lot really to justify this combat system. And I hated it when I first played it. I was like, is this how the whole game's gonna be? I'm just kind of knocking dudes around with a stick, occasionally shooting them. There's no combo variations. Like, no thanks. So I put it down for quite a while. And I thought about getting back into it. I was like, maybe I can just give it the chance again. And I tried playing it again. And I'm like, nope, it still fucking sucks. Like, why is this game getting such great reviews? And I finally just Googled, like, when does Astral Chain get good? And I never finished chapter 2 because there's like a boss fight that's kind of annoying and the game doesn't feel good to play. So I was like, this isn't fun. So I would always turn it off when I would get there. And literally, like, the first comment I would find is like, oh, after chapter 2, the game gets better. And I'm like, really? Like, how much better could it really get? Whatever. So I tried it again. I forced my way to finish that chapter. And it takes a while. If you take your time on it, can be like about an hour and a half, 2 hours to finish through it. It's pretty. It takes a good chunk of time, and it's not fun for that whole time. And when I finally beat that boss, I went through all the story shit the game was pushing at me, and I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's some story shit that happens that opens up so many more combat options that you actually feel like it goes from like trying to play a game while you have your dog on a leash. Imagine that. Imagine trying to do day-to-day chores and you have like a
Yeah.
dog on a leash and the dog's just kind of doing its own thing and you really can't do anything about it. To like almost like a dance between you and this legion. I've never seen a game just from literally from one level to the next just completely improve in quality. And I'm like, why the fuck does this game suck so fucking hard in the beginning? Cause like I've played other platinum games. Bayonetta, it takes it opens up. You learn to get new abilities, new weapons, new skills. But the game's pretty solid, like from the get go.
Yeah.
Same with Metal Gear Rising. That game's solid from the get go. But this game, God, it sucks so fucking hard in the beginning. I was almost convinced like I wasn't gonna like it, and now it's like one of my favorite games. There's so much variety here in the way you can control your legion, the attacks you do. You do get more combo strings because it's still one button to do your attacks, but they're on a delay combo system, so you can change your combo depending on if you just hit the button versus if you stop for a second and then hit it, you have a little delay attack, or if you hold the button, or even some inputs, some minor inputs can change the attack. So you have some variety there in how you attack and the way your legion works with you. There's like 5 legions you can get. They all offer different abilities and they all play so well, and they have their own skill trees they can level up to unlock more abilities, more moves, more passive skills. There's so much to this game, and I was like, fuck, where the fuck was this in the first like 2 chapters of the game? Like I've owned this game for I want to say about a year and a half, and I'm so pissed off that I waited this long to like really give it a chance.
Is this only on the Switch? It's never hit anything
It's
else?
only on the Switch. Yeah, it hasn't hit anything else, which is
Bummer.
kind of a bummer because I will admit the performance on the Switch, the game runs pretty well, but you can see there's some moments where the frame rate's dipping, and when a lot of shit gets on screen, there's some slowdown. It's not too bad. It's polished pretty well, and it feels pretty good to play, but it is noticeable when it does happen, and it's kind of a bummer when you see that. But the game is really, really fun, and I think it is worth it. If you like action games, Bayonetta, Devil May Cry, you will like this game. Just give it a chance. It's gonna suck ass for the first couple hours, man. But once you beat that second chapter, you start chapter 3, and the game opens up all these skills. It's so good. And it's not even the skills that opens up. Literally, the way your character plays like changes. I was watching a video where somebody was comparing the combo strings with your baton from the beginning of the game, and then after chapter 3 when things pick up, and literally like your attacks get faster, your dodge canceling is more, you have more opportunities to dodge cancel, the animations are less stiff. I can't explain it, but when you first start the game up, the animations are a lot slower than you're expecting, and a lot of the animations, once you do a certain attack, it's a locked animation for longer than I'm comfortable with. So there's some points where I couldn't even dodge out of the way, and I was like, I'm not gonna like this. And then literally after chapter 3, some story shit happens, that most of that's gone. Like the attacks are faster. You can basically dodge cancel at any time. It's crazy, like how much the quality changed. I don't know why the fuck they made the game so uncomfortable to play for the first couple hours, but after that second chapter, dude, it's so good. It seriously became one of my favorite games.
Right. This IGN review, they gave it a 9 here, so clearly it's doing
Yeah, and
something.
it's solid, man. It's really good. My biggest complaint though is that if you're just expecting like a crazy action fest, that's not the case. Every mission has some side objectives you can do. And a lot of times, the point of the game is that you are a cop. I know it's kind of weird seeing all this anime shit, but you're like an anime bullshit cop. And a lot of times when shit goes down, there is missions where you are like questioning people and trying to figure out what happened. And you can get a better score if you talk to everybody and piece together what happened without the game having to tell you what happened.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
those better scores, yeah. And a lot of people probably won't like that. I can see a lot of people complaining like, "Oh, just let me fuck stuff up." But it does a lot for the world building because in between it, there are things you can do that actually help out other citizens. That actually, and they get you bonuses. There are these kids that are gonna make you do like some like puzzle quiz, and it's like a logic puzzle. I don't want to spoil it 'cause it's actually pretty fun. But once you do that, they have another one, and when you finish that second one, they just give you like an ability for your legion that's really fucking cool. I don't want to spoil. And that's another cool thing about the legions. You can customize them. Imagine like chips from Nier Automata for your legions. That's basically what it is. Like that's how much customization you get. It's really, really cool. And God, I wish I wrote some more of the stuff down. There's just a lot to it, but I'm gonna wrap this up with it's a good game. Pick it up. It's a fucking slog in the beginning, but once you get past that slog, it's a great game, especially if you're a Platinum Games fan like I am. I love me some action games. I love me some character action games. This is one of my favorites. It quickly became like it was amazing, the transition. It went from a dog shit game to one of my favorites, probably going to be in my top 10 depending on how good the
Wow.
rest of the game is.
All
Yeah.
time?
Yeah, it's really good, dude.
Wow.
It's really, really good.
All right. Well, that's
It's not perfect. It's not perfect. And I don't want to make it sound like it's a perfect game here.
nothing's
The
perfect.
camera can get really annoying. Yeah, the camera can get really annoying. It is held back a little bit by the fact that it is on Switch. It would definitely benefit from more powerful hardware, but the game is solid. I really think it's one of Platinum's best games. I really, really like it, and I want to see more of this. If they made a sequel, they can clean up a lot of the bullshit I didn't like. I think it could be a really, really good franchise here if they wanted to keep up with it.
I would like them to port this to other platforms before a sequel.
Yeah, I don't see why it hasn't been ported. I mean, Platinum's kind of weird because I think they're not owned by Nintendo, but Nintendo funded, I think, most of their projects. Like they funded this completely, Bayonetta 2, the upcoming Bayonetta 3, those are all funded by Nintendo. So I think that's why it hasn't been ported yet.
Yeah.
And
Well,
also, I
like
think with Bayonetta 3 coming out, they probably don't have the manpower to port it to anything else if they wanted to.
the Wonderful 101 eventually got there. Like some of the other stuff
That's
too.
true. But I think with Wonderful 101, though, that was like, I think that was their IP. Even though
Oh,
Nintendo like helped produce it, I think it was their IP. I think it's different with this. I'm not entirely sure the legality behind it, but if you remember, like before they could port Wonderful 101, they had to get like a Kickstarter just to support the funding to port it. So I don't think Wonderful 101 is a Nintendo property, kind of like Astral Chain is, but I'm not sure. I'm just talking out of my ass. I don't fucking know anything about the legal logistics behind it.
well,
But side note, I actually brought it up. Another Switch game that did get ported to PC is Daemon X Machina, that mech game,
yeah,
and that's actually free on Epic right now.
it
So
is. It is.
yeah, so check it out. That's another game I downloaded. I haven't played it yet, but it's downloaded. I played it a bit on Switch. That's another game that was held back by the hardware. So I kind of want to try it on PC to see if it's see how it plays on better hardware.
Astral Chain sounds dope. They actually, as we were speaking, I think they re-delivered my dryer here.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, it's there, it's in there, so we're good.
Good shit. Awesome. You don't have to fucking hang your clothes up to
Yeah.
dry like some. I don't
Hey
know.
man,
I don't have
it
a
worked.
joke
It
for
worked
that.
in the old days, you know. Hey, there's people that still just do not trust dryers. I get it. Like dryers really like fuck stuff up if you're really
Yeah.
into like the quality, maintaining the quality of your clothing. Like your jeans, like you don't want to put your jeans, your good denim, in a dryer. That's something I
That's
learned.
true. But at the same time, like air drying isn't a possibility for everybody. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
God forbid if you lived in Seattle or something. Fucking
Oh
good
yeah.
luck trying to air dry your shit.
Or even air
Um,
dry on
eh,
the inside.
that's true, but I don't know. I don't have the space to air dry inside. Like I said, I do my laundry in a huge bulk, so
Yeah, yeah.
the idea of air drying it is like, no, I'm not gonna be able to air dry my shit. Um,
I ended
but
up
yeah,
getting a new phone. That's why I haven't been playing anything. Is because I've been setting this thing up, dude. It's so frustrating transferring stuff from like one
yeah,
phone to another. Not that it's super difficult, but here's the thing: you can transfer. I use Android, so I don't know if iPhone's the same way, but you can
yeah.
transfer all your apps. It'll just sync your Google account and transfer all your apps just instantly. As soon as you log in, it's like, okay, we're gonna get all your apps. If you want us to do that, if there's anything you don't want, just let us know. We're not gonna download that. So all my apps carried over instantly. What didn't carry over is all the data from those apps. So like my save games and all my like game, like I've been playing Meow Tower. Everyone knows
Oh
that, right?
yeah, you're telling me about that. So that stuff didn't transfer over, the actual
Yeah,
content in the apps.
yeah. So, I did like 300 something puzzles in Meow Tower, and I'm like, okay, my save better carry over here, and like nothing. So I was like, oh no, okay, how do we solve this? So you end up having to like get like I had like to root my phone, get a third party app so I can like download the data from it and then upload it to my Google Drive account and then download it to my new phone. It was such a pain in the ass, such a hassle. Uh, so yeah, I had to do all of that. I've been fucking with that for like the past like week. So, but
Yeah, I don't
they
have to worry about that with Apple. It's just it syncs everything up and just basically spoofs that phone over, and it's
and
like
the
I
data
have
too.
that
So
phone again.
if you were playing Meow
Yeah.
Tower on your iPhone, it would transfer that.
I don't know about Meow Tower specifically, but a lot of my games like transferred over data.
Yeah, some
Like Knights of the
games.
Republic, I was playing that and I didn't have a problem.
Okay, some
Yeah,
games
most of
do
my
have.
games didn't have any issues.
Some games do have like cloud saves, so like if you just log into your account, it'll just download the cloud save data. But a lot of games just don't do that, or just apps in general just don't do that. But like I use Uber a lot, so I have to like log into my Uber account and like re-authenticate everything. And, oh, it's a pain in the ass. But it's done now. We've completed uh, that speed run, so it's good now. And then the only other thing I've been playing is I'm still doing melodics, still just still learning how to play piano just bit by bit. I'm still doing the free trial. You know, it's not really a trial. It's just you get 5 minutes per day to just get some practice in. B Masters in the
Yeah.
chat. We're gonna hit you up a
Yeah,
little
what
in a
up,
little
dude?
bit, B Master. But my thing about learning piano is that I don't know if I said this already, but the posture, the hand posture, is like so bad. I feel like it's not very ergonomic on the wrist. So like my wrist is just getting like real cramps trying to play these keys, and it's just real. I don't know if that's just something I have to get used to, or if like my keyboard is non-standard and it's just smaller than it needs to be, or uh, that's something I'm getting used to. But that's something else
And
entirely.
that's if piano's a different beast, man, but it's really like if you can learn piano, that's a good stepping stone to like get into other instruments, what I've been told.
Yeah,
It's a good core instrument. You can tune a lot of instruments like from piano, which is really cool. I've never learned to play piano. I started with guitar, which other people told me is one of the harder instruments to start with if you've never played an instrument before. So that was fun. Um, but yeah, piano's a different beast. I've tried playing. A buddy of mine had a keyboard, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? My fingers don't move like that."
yeah. That's the thing. Cause like you gotta use your like middle finger, which is your longest finger, and your pinky finger and your thumb, which are like your shortest fingers, to like do a lot of chords and shit. And it just doesn't make sense to me how you fit all of that on
Yeah, it's a trip. I thought the same thing
keys.
with guitar when I was learning chords. I was like, "How the fuck is this supposed to work?" But you'll get the hang of it. It's a muscle memory. If it's
Yeah,
anything like guitar, like your fingers will get used to the position, and when you're like thinking about doing it, like you'll see yourself just doing it. It just takes practice. Any
and
instrument, it's
the
gonna take
cool thing about
practice.
melodics is that it has a lot of exercises. So like you can like practice over and over, and it like gives you really good visuals on like, okay, here's where your fingers are supposed to be. You use your this finger to hit this key, and it just does like a real like I guess it's called like +1 learning, where it'll teach you like something really basic, and then it'll +1 onto that for like the next thing. So it'll be like hit this key, and then just you do that over and over, and then okay, now we're gonna add another finger, and you do those fingers, and then okay, we're gonna add a third finger. It really like slowly introduces new mechanics. Really, which is really cool. And then it does like the Guitar Hero thing, or I guess it's Rocksmith, where it's like I'm having trouble with this section, so it'll let you just zoom in on that section and just play that section over and over, which is really cool. It's a really cool
That's really
tool.
cool.
It's a really cool tool for learning, I think.
I like that. I like that. That's a good, I think, entry point to like learn an instrument is like having a way to gamify it. Because learning scales and stuff, like learning your chords, like practicing them, that's annoying. People just want to play a song,
Yeah,
but you do need to learn that shit to get anywhere in your instrument. So it's good. I like stuff that gamifies it a bit. So it's like, oh, here's a way to practice your scales, practice your chord work, your progressional work without like having to sit down and practice traditionally. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. So it's cool. So I'm doing that every day. I get like a streak going of like I don't know 20 something days now. It keeps track of all that. So it's cool. I like it. You should try it. Everyone should try it. It's free. Melodics.
I'll check it out. Sounds like fun. I'm already not playing guitar, so I might as well not play piano while I'm at
It works too.
it.
It works with like you can get yeah, they have a list on their site of just everything it works for, and it'll work for
Yeah.
stuff that you don't even like associate with, because it's not just for playing piano. You can do it for like drum machines too, like drum pads. It'll teach you how to use effectively, like finger
Oh, that's
drumming.
really cool.
Yeah, it does all that stuff. So it's really cool.
That's pretty cool. If it works for guitar, that'll be fun. I don't have to buy Rocksmith anymore.
I don't think it does, but
Yeah. Oh well. That's really cool. I'm glad you're having fun with that. It looks like fun.
yeah.
Let's get into some news now, man. I'm glad you brought that up, B. B's talked about the Sony buying Bungie. It's actually the first story we want to go into here,
Yes.
which you guys can see in our show notes if you check out us out on our Discord. But yeah, Bungie did Bungie is joining the PlayStation family. Sony had bought out Bungie for a cool $3.6 billion. It's really crazy to see that, dude. You know, back in the day, if you're an old blood like me, you associate Bungie with like Halo and Halo with Microsoft. So it's crazy to see
Yeah.
that Bungie is officially a PlayStation owned brand now.
Yeah. And there's a lot of, so this happened yesterday.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of questions flying around on, oh my god, they're gonna make so many exclusives and it's gonna be great. It's PlayStation, but that doesn't sound like that's what they're doing, like at all.
Yeah.
Um, they're saying here that Bungie will remain an independent and multi-platform studio and publisher, which sounds to me that they're not planning anything exclusive.
At least not for the time being.
Yeah. Pete Parsons, the CEO of Bungie, said, "We will continue to independently publish and creatively develop our games. We continue to drive one unified Bungie community. Our games will continue to be where our community is, wherever they choose to play." So, I don't think there's going to be many exclusive. I mean, it's plain language there. They're not planning on making anything exclusive. It sounds like they want to continue. I mean, Bungie, they're not the same Bungie they were back in the days. I mean, Halo is strictly Microsoft now, and the only
Yeah.
thing Bungie has going right now is Destiny 2,
Yeah.
which it sounds like they're going to continue working on. And I think they are
I wouldn't be
working on.
surprised if PlayStation got some like exclusive, excuse me, some exclusive skins, maybe early access DLC or something.
Yeah, but
But I
they've done
doubt.
that. They've done that in
Yeah,
the
they've done that
past.
before, which is why I doubt like PlayStation would just shell out $3.6 billion just to get some like early access to content. Like they gotta
Yeah,
have, maybe nothing's planned right now, but I doubt this was like a knee jerk thing. You know, you don't just buy out a company without a plan ahead of time, unless PlayStation is just, well, Microsoft bought out Activision, we gotta buy something now, but I doubt it.
yeah. If I had to guess, I think that they're planning something like technology wise in terms of like crossing over into like PC and PlayStation. Like maybe they're trying to get more integration,
Maybe.
and just Bungie's good at doing that. I mean, they have a game that is on every platform, and they're
Yeah.
trying to unify everything. So
Speaking of which, I'm not seeing that here on the news, but you know, Discord was bought out by PlayStation a while back, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I tried to log into Discord the other day, and it was prompting me to sync my
yeah.
PlayStation account
Well,
to it.
they didn't buy. They didn't buy Discord.
They didn't
They
buy,
just
but there's like
announced
a
the
little
integration.
collaboration going. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You can link your
yeah, my bad.
PlayStation account now.
Yeah, there's still no like cross chat between PlayStation and Discord, but you know, this is a good first step that might lead to something bigger. So I wonder if that has something to do with what's going on with Bungie. Maybe they might be integrating some more connectivity between PlayStation and PC. I don't know. We'll see. I doubt again they would just shell out like more than $3 billion without a plan. They got to have something planned.
Yeah,
It might not involve exclusive games, but you might be right. It might be some tech or some integration there. We'll have to wait and see. But it is cool to see what it is cool to see this happen. Scares me a little bit that we might just have like 3 big gaming companies instead of a bunch of little companies, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, the thing about Bungie is that they've been like passed around so much. Like
Yeah.
they used to be with Microsoft, then they left Microsoft, then they went to Activision, and then left Activision, and now they're at PlayStation.
Before that, they were Apple, right? Because they made a marathon on.
Well, they weren't Apple, but they started as Mac game developers.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Marathon. Rebel says, "I
So
bet some money that Bungie might make the next Killzone." That's the other thing. That's I think a lot of people don't think about is that now that they are under the PlayStation umbrella, they can help. They can lend their expertise to some of those other studios.
that's true.
Now, if I'm being honest with you, nobody wants another Killzone. Okay, Rebel, nobody wants that. But I don't know if Bungie made it, that would be dope because they're very competent FPS developers. So like they know what they're doing with FPS games. So
True. And let's be honest here, like Guerrilla Games isn't making another Killzone. They're too busy with Horizon, so
yeah,
we'll see. I mean, Killzone's just an example. I don't really know what IPs. This is something that gets me excited. Now that Microsoft is buying up a lot of these companies, now PlayStation needs to look inward to some of their brands to really stand out a little bit more. And hopefully, stuff like this happening, we could see Sony maybe looking back at some old forgotten properties. Possibly, like you said, Killzone is a great example. It would be cool to see them make a new Legend of Dragoon or something. I don't know. We'll see.
for
Right
me
now, it's too soon to tell, but it'd be
for
cool to
me
see.
it's not the games, it's the services, right?
Yeah,
Because if you look at what Microsoft is offering, they don't have many killer fucking apps that's like, oh, I'm gonna
yeah,
buy this day one. But they have a service that they're offering that just has a ton of content on it
that's
that
true.
I can just pay $5 a month and just get a bunch of stuff, no matter where, even if I don't own an Xbox or if I don't own a PC, I can play these games on something. Whereas PlayStation is very focused on like delivering games, but only for the platform that you have to spend
Yeah,
$500 for, and I'm just
yeah,
not about that.
yeah.
Uh,
Me
like I
neither.
think
B, I just want to mention B said they could also make a Resistance game. I would love to see that, a new Resistance, but they need
uh,
to make it more available instead of just
Insomniac
PlayStation, like you were
actually
saying.
teased on Twitter, I think, like a week or two ago, some like Resistance stuff.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That'd be cool to see. Also, with Sony, they did announce that they were doing there was like a Game Pass type competitor that they're working on. So hopefully, I would love to see that with them. Maybe we can bring some of those old franchises back, and if they do want to do some new stuff with it, if it was day one on PlayStation, whatever they want to call it, that'd be cool to see. I just don't want to have to buy a PS5 to do it. you know,
Yeah,
like you said, I don't want to have to shell out this
that's
money
the
for a
thing. I
PS5.
like
They can make it on
PlayStation is playing
PC.
catch up. For me, they're
Yeah,
playing catch up with
yeah,
Microsoft. Like it would be great if they did that stuff, but they have to get it. They have to get on PC. They have to get on
yeah,
mobile. They have to get
yeah,
their cloud stuff going. Like I feel like they have so much catching up to do that they're so far behind for
yeah.
what I want. I know a lot of people are happy with their PS5s. I'm like, dude, like look what's on the other side of the fence here, guys. Like,
Yeah, I agree, dude.
but
Like,
like whatever.
I would love to get a PS5, but I look at like Game Pass is taking care of me of most of the games I need on my PC. Like, oh God, dude, I don't see any reason
It
to
is
get
a
a PS5 other than the exclusives. And even
yeah.
then, like, it's not worth it, at least in
Like
my opinion.
if it weren't so expensive right now, like PC would be the place to be
Yeah,
if you like enjoyed video games because PC is
I agree.
thriving right now, just in terms of content. But like
Yeah,
obtaining a PC is kind of a fucking nightmare right now.
yeah, it is. So fucking sorry, everybody wants to get on this the ground floor of this, but
But
good luck.
Bungie is dope. I don't know, like they're planning. I just want to see. I want to see what comes of this.
Yeah, same.
because right now it's a little questionable, this purchase. You don't really, it's like this could, anything can come of this, but from what they're saying, not much is going to come from it other than because they're still indie, they're still making multi-platform games. They've said that plain language here. So I don't know what PlayStation gets out of this
Yeah,
aside from just being able to announce that they own Bungie now.
yeah. I mean, we'll see, man. Hopefully something comes out of it, but we'll see. Right now, we're in the midst of the shuffle into something big. you know, Microsoft buying out all these companies, PlayStation acquiring Bungie. Like we're in the midst of something, and I can't wait to see what tomorrow brings on this. But right now, it is too soon to tell. But
Yeah.
I hope we see some cool shit in the next like year or two.
Rebel
Speaking of cool
says
shit,
Rebel
oh
says
yeah,
cloud gaming is going to be the hardware and the software where we wouldn't need better graphics cards. That's true, but I think for cloud gaming to really take off, the tech needs to get better.
I agree.
Which we're almost there, but I think first I think cloud gaming also scares a lot of people. Like people just
Yeah,
aren't ready to adapt that. I mean, people are they're not ready to like adapt like a digital only future. They're really not ready to adapt a cloud only future. So
yeah.
I'm ready for it as long as the tech is good. But
As long as the tech is good, the price is right. I mean, it
yeah,
could be
yeah.
very pro-consumer if it's done correctly.
But with like I don't know the stuff that from Microsoft, like they offer a good service, but the latency is always the issue for me, and I don't know why because my connection is really good, but there's always like latency issues where I'm like, okay, there's like a half a second, I can feel the difference here, but oh, I would enjoy a good cloud service.
Yeah, I would love to try a good cloud service.
Yeah,
We'll
Nvidia
have to
is
wait and
probably the
see.
best one in terms of
Yeah.
like play this game and play it well. Like I played Enter the Gungeon on the sheet like Nvidia, whatever the fuck they call it, and it was extremely good, extremely. Like
Yeah?
I couldn't even tell it was in the cloud. I was like, "Are you
Oh,
sure this is not
wow.
streaming from my local shit?" But no, it was like it was cloud. I was like, "This is crazy."
That is crazy. All right. That's really cool.
Yeah, and that's free. You can actually just do that for free on Nvidia.
Damn,
But
let's see if Nvidia can like push on it or at least team up with someone.
yeah,
We'll see what happens though. Man, that would be cool to see. We're in the midst of like a transitionary period. With the pandemic, it's getting harder to get like physical merchandise. I think we are like, I think people are going to be more, how can I word it, more ready to embrace all digital. Like you said, maybe not quite cloud, but I think people are opening up more to an all digital future. But we'll see. We'll have to wait
yeah.
and see what happens. If cloud could work really well, that would be a great way to do it, but
Uh,
we'll see what happens, man.
Rebel says Stadia doesn't count. I will give Stadia the benefit here because I played Player Unknown's Battlegrounds on Stadia, and the one match I had, I won. So I will give them some credit there. I played PUBG and won a match, and that's I don't know.
Ah, man. Moving on, we have some other news that
A
gets
bot
me
match.
pretty excited
Fuck you, I'm talking about
because
skill.
what was that?
Nothing.
Oh, bot match. Side note, tangent here. I played that wizard battle royale game. What is it? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got excited. I won my first game, and I was like, "Oh, this is really cool. I'm actually good at this." And I went online. I was like, "Oh no, your first match is always going to be like a bot match." to
Yeah.
get, and I was
Which
super
maybe it
pissed.
was, maybe it was, but that doesn't change the fact that it was still in the cloud and
And it felt good.
it felt good.
Yeah. At the end of the day, that's all that matters as long as it feels good. Like skill,
Yeah,
but it feels
yeah.
good. So some other news has got me super excited. For obvious reasons. Electronic Arts and Lucas Games announced some new Star Wars titles being headed by Respawn Entertainment. They did confirm they are going to continue delivering some new gaming experiences set within the Star Wars universe. Respawn again leading development on all these new projects. Game director Stig Amundsen from God of War 3 and his team are working on the next game of the Jedi series. Now, when they say Jedi series, is that like Jedi Fallen Order? Are we
Yeah,
talking about like the Jedi Knight games from like forever ago?
they mean Star Wars Jedi colon franchise. So
Okay.
Star Wars
Like
Jedi
Fallen
colon
Order.
Fallen Order. Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Just making sure. Still excited. I like Fallen Order.
yeah,
And I love, yeah, it's really good. It's a good game. It's a good Souls like, but it's not too like punishing. It's got some good Star Wars shit in it that I really like to see. Some good lore stuff I like to see.
yeah. Now
So I'm excited for that.
Stig Asmussen is a veteran in the God of War trilogy,
Yeah.
the original trilogy.
Yeah.
So if maybe they transition those games to be, or whatever the next game is going to be, maybe they transition from like a Dark Souls like to a Devil May Cry like sort of thing.
I would be happy with that. I've always said like if Platinum can make a Star Wars game and just make it fucking crazy, I would. That'd be like my dream game.
Yeah,
But this will be the next best thing, I guess. Um, also, Respawn is leading development of a new Star Wars first-person shooter game, and it's being headed by Peter Hirschman, Medal of Honor, Star Wars Force Unleashed, which is cool to see. Like, I would like to see Respawn make a first-person shooter. I mean, Dice gave it a shot with Battlefront. Battlefront 1 sucked. Battlefront 2 was okay after the microtransactions were gone. The story was good at least. I like to see Respawn take a crack at it and see what they can do.
they're
And the
they're
third one,
really they're really
yeah,
leaning on Respawn here to be
yeah,
their like. It feels like, okay, these guys are nailing it with Apex Legends. Let's just let them make all of our games now. It seems like what they're doing, which is putting a lot of pressure on Respawn. I hope that they're
it's
not like getting pushed to their limits here on what they're capable
yeah,
of. But I
same.
yeah
We'll have to wait and see, I guess, because a lot of these games are very different. I mean, they're heading all these games, which is weird to see that they're overseeing development. Because I mean, the first game that they're talking about, next game in the Star Wars Jedi series, that's going to be at least like a hack and slash action game, at least minimum. Kind of outside Respawn's wheelhouse here. A first person shooter, yeah, I can see them making that competently. But this last game, there's the third title they're talking about, is a Star Wars strategy game. It's a collaboration production from Bit Reactor, the new studio Bit Reactor. That's helmed by Greg Forsch from XCOM and Respawn together are working on this. So that's drastically outside of Respawn's wheelhouse, man. So I don't know how that's gonna come out. I didn't know I wanted an XCOM style Star Wars strategy game until someone mentioned it. So now I'm kind of excited. But
yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like Respawn spreading themselves a little too thin here.
But they're bringing in other people to kind of oversee that stuff too. So
That's
um,
true. They have other people overseeing it, and they did announce too that they are looking for more talent to join in, kind of help out with it. But I'm just worried. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I feel like with the shit with Battlefront, EA's been a little bit more careful with the Star Wars property. So hopefully they take their time with this. We don't get some shitty rush job, but we'll see, man. We'll have to
that's why
see
they're
what
giving it to
happens.
Respawn because they know Respawn can do good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have to wait and see, man. I love me some Star Wars, so if something like this happens, it'll be cool to see. And Rebels talking about a Splinter Cell remake. Is there a Splinter Cell remake happening? I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, you did because we talked about it.
Did we? Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
we
you're right. You're
did.
right. It was like a little teaser. They didn't even
Yeah,
like show anything off. I remember. Yeah. I never played Splinter Cell, so I think that's when we started talking about Hitman.
yeah,
I remember.
yeah.
I think that's the same show you recommended Hitman to me.
The thing about Splinter Cell is that they're very what they said about the remake was that they're staying true to what Splinter Cell was. They're not making it like an open world game. They're not. It's going to be linear. It's gonna be straight up Splinter Cell, pretty much the original trilogy, is what they said they were making.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's okay. News Rise says Chaos Theory goats. I agree. I agree. In terms of Splinter Cell games, I agree. Uh, yeah, I just don't know if that style of game people want anymore, or if it's just for Splinter Cell fans. You know, because definitely Splinter Cell fans want that. They want a Splinter Cell game, not a Hitman game or a Metal Gear game. They want Splinter Cell, so it'll be interesting to see that. Um,
That would be
yeah,
cool to see. And some other side news because B did mention this.
yeah. Let's look at this.
The yeah, the niche, I would say niche, platformer Alice, American McGee's Alice Madness Returns is getting a TV adaptation. And it's being helmed by David Hayter as the main showrunner. I wasn't expecting that, honestly, David Hayter leading it, but it's still cool to hear. I've never played any of the Alice games. I've never played any American McGee game, actually, if I think about it.
Yeah,
Um, I've heard they're good. I like the darker aspect to them, and I've heard that the story in them is really good. It's a nice twist on the Alice in Wonderland like motif. But let's be honest, like a dark twisted Alice in Wonderland isn't like a new concept, but from what I've been told, this game does it very well. We'll have to wait and see what happens with it, honestly. Right now, it's being worked on. It's being worked on with Bandit Entertainment, who's worked on the script for X-Men 2000, the Scorpion King. So, I mean, Scorpion King was dog shit. So I don't know if I have, I don't know if I have a lot of faith in it. And X-Men, they did the best what they could. But
I
we'll have to
like
wait
that
and
X
see,
Men
man.
movie.
I liked it too, but watching it now, with the last like 20 years of other superhero movies, I don't think it holds up very well.
Well,
We'll
when
have
you
to wait
compare
and
it to
see.
that, I don't like where hero superhero movies have become personally, but maybe that's just me.
I have an argument for that, but continue.
Well, they're just don't copy paste like trash, dude. It's just
A
like
lot of
it's
them are. A lot of them are. But even then, like, if you compare like other superhero movies that have come out, not including like the Marvel movies, if you look at like Spider-Man, for example, I think the first Spider-Man still holds up very well
okay.
compared to like X-Men. Dark Knight, the whole Dark Knight trilogy, I think still holds up very well.
Yeah,
Um,
but those are from a different era. I'm more to say like the current era, the current meta of hero
yeah, I see what
film.
you meant. I see what you mean. And yeah, we'll have to. Yeah, that's where it gets tricky because like the only ones that are doing anything different, surprisingly, are like DC. With the new Suicide Squad movie was fucking fantastic. I don't know if you've seen it, but
I
it's
haven't seen it yet.
the newest one. It's so good. It's an R-rated, almost like action comedy. It's
Okay.
really really good. I fucking love it. And they got a new show out on HBO Max called Peacemaker. I haven't seen the show yet, but I've seen clips of it, and that looks really fucking funny. So that's what I mean. Like if you compare it to like I don't know, I don't even think about Marvel when I think about like superhero movies because of the copy and paste design. Um, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, X-Men, it wasn't bad for the time, but for them to cite X-Men and Scorpion King as like the two movies they've scripted, I'm like, what else do they got? What else they got? Is that it? I don't know how I feel
Well,
about
that was
that.
David Hayter himself. I think he wrote those movies.
Did he?
I
I thought it
think
was a
so.
band entertainment that did it. Oh yeah, I read it
I
wrong.
know he did X Men. That's the first time I heard about the Scorpion King, but I know he did X Men.
Oof. We'll see. I mean, when this comes out, I mean, I'll check it out, man. Like, I'll watch it depending on what it comes out on. But there's not even any talks of like where it's gonna be distributed,
Yeah.
whether it's gonna be airing on television or if it's just gonna go straight to streaming. There's really no talks about it other than, hey, this is the thing I'm working on. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with it. And those of you in the comments, like, let me know. Are the Alice games good? Are the Alice games good? Are they worth checking out? Like,
I
let me
have it.
know. Yeah.
How many of them are there? I think there's just one.
I think there's two. There's like an old one that came out forever ago, and then Alice Returns is the
Oh
latest
yeah,
one that's like a sequel.
I have those. I've never played them.
I've never played them either. I heard the first one didn't age too well because it's like a third person shooter almost, like a really shitty third person shooter. But the second one's supposed to be like an action platformer with like hack and slash elements, so that's supposed to be
Yeah.
pretty good. But I don't know. If they're good, like, let me know. I think they're on Steam right now. They can't be that expensive, right? I might check them out when I have time, but we'll see. Um, we also got some it's February, new month. We got some new games for PlayStation Plus here. EA Sports UFC is dropping on PS4, and Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep a Wonderlands one-shot adventure, which is the Assault on Dragon Keep expansion as a standalone game, is available for PS4 only. So that's kind of shitty. You can only play it on
Very
PS4,
shitty.
but whatever. But
Well, you can
whatever.
play it. You can
Well, it's a
play it on
PS4
PS5.
version. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a PS4 version, but still, I don't see why they don't just give both versions. But whatever. Then Planet Coaster Console Edition is available on PS5 only. Those are available right now if you have PlayStation Plus. Honestly, I don't really care. I have UFC, EA Sports UFC 4 might be good. I have Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep. I
Free
have
on
the
Epic when
game.
it came out.
Yeah, it was on free. I have it when it was free on Epic. I own it on Steam with Borderlands 2 as an expansion. So it's whatever to me. There you go. If you guys haven't played it yet, that's a good way to try them out.
Now, the contrast. I love putting these back to back
Yeah.
because it just shows you how shitty PlayStation Plus is compared to Game Pass.
Yeah.
So,
Can we compare
also,
PlayStation Plus to Game Pass though? Shouldn't we compare it to like games with gold? I mean, they're similarly priced, and you get games with gold with Game Pass, so never mind. And we can't
yeah,
absolutely compare them.
yeah.
But yeah, if you look at Game Pass though, we got damn dude, we got games on games. We got Contrast coming out for cloud and console on February 3rd. Dreamscaper cloud console PC February 3rd. Telling Lies is coming out on cloud console and PC February 3rd. Besiege, the game preview, is coming out on cloud console and PC February 10th. I've never heard of Besiege. Which one's that one?
That I think that's like it's like a physics game where you build like medieval
Oh, yeah, I have heard
armies.
of this one.
Yeah.
Like, that's why is that in game preview? I thought it was done already. This game came out like forever ago.
I thought it was too. Maybe just like the console version is new. I think it's been on Steam
Maybe.
for a while.
Yes, the console version is the one that's in game preview. Okay, because I was about to say this came out like 2015, I think. Um, That'll be cool. I mean, I haven't played Besiege yet, so it'll be cool to try it. I think I own it though. I think my brother bought it for me.
It's cool. It's fun.
Everyone tells me it's fun. It looks like fun. I think I would like it. And here we go. It's on Game Pass, so I don't have to fucking pay for it if I don't have it yet. Oh, that's so cool. We also got a Crossfire Access dropping on console February 10th. It's a first-person shooter, very military first-person shooter. Apparently, it's a third installment of a series that I've never heard of before. So,
I think it's Chinese, I think. The thing is they've been showing
yeah,
this game ever since they first showed like
yeah.
the Xbox Series X, or like it's been one of like the headline games for it in terms of like graphical fidelity. It looks crazy when you look at it in action. It looks insane. So it's only on console, not even on cloud. So you can't even like
Which
play
is
it
just so
PC.
weird. Like that game I would think would do really well on PC, especially if it's a Chinese made game. But I don't know. I don't know. I probably wouldn't even play it if it was on Game Pass, if I'm being honest. I'm kind of sick of military shooters.
It looks different enough that I think it would. It's a little different.
Yeah. Maybe if it comes to PC, I might give it a try. We also got Edge of Eternity. That's coming out February 10th for Cloud Console and PC. That's actually a game I was excited for. Have you heard of this one?
Yes, been in my
Yeah,
Steam wish list forever.
Same, dude. I wish listed it when it first got kickstarted. That's how old this game is.
Actually, I might have bought
Was
it.
Kickstarter. It was originally penned as like an old school JRPG in the style of like Final Fantasy X, which is why I checked it out. They made some changes to it. It still has that old school aesthetic and that old, well, not old school aesthetic, but that old school RPG design to it. But it has a grid-based combat system, which looks really cool. I kind of like the combat system they're going with on this game. The environments look really, really good. Graphically, it looks really sharp for an independent game. And I'm glad this game is coming out, and it is getting a full release on Game Pass, so I'll definitely be checking that out. Again, that's been on my wish list too, so another reason I don't have to buy it, I can just play it on Game
I
Pass.
do own it. I have it on Steam.
You own it, and you
Yeah.
haven't played it yet?
Oh,
We also got a Skull, the Last Hero. This is the one we talked, the Hero Slayer. Sorry, this is one we talked about a while ago. That's like a platform action game, roguelike slash Metroidvania. The big gimmick with this is that you're a skeleton. You can take other people's heads and put your head on other people's bodies and get new abilities. It looks really cool. That's one that's been on my wish list forever, and that's coming out February 10th. So I'm definitely gonna check that out too. Next game, I've never heard of this one. It's Last Kids on Earth and the Staff of Doom. I don't know what this game is. I've never even heard of it before.
Master game to me.
Why does it sound like a B Master game? Is it based on a cartoon?
I don't know. It looks like one.
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now. Oh yeah, this is a cartoon. This is a show on Netflix. I keep seeing like ads for it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like an overhead like isometric action game. Kind of like I want to say like Diablo, more like Absolver.
Diablo. Okay, now you're
I don't want to say. I don't want to say like Diablo though, because I'm not seeing any like skills. It looks more like kind of like Zombies Ate My Neighbors a little bit, like a twin
You
stick
never
shooter.
mentioned it, B Master, but I feel like you know a lot about this even without saying it. Damn.
Yeah, I would have figured you being like a big cartoon fan that you would have heard of it. But no, I mean it looks okay, inoffensive. If you're a fan of the series, you might like this. It kind of reminds me of those old like isometric flash like zombie shooter games, but with 3D graphics. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that. I mean, I don't know. I'm definitely not gonna play it, but you know, if you're a fan of the show, you might like it. We also got Ark Ultimate Survivor Edition
That game sucks,
coming out.
dude.
Yeah, it does. That's why I don't want to talk about it. It's just coming out February 14th. So Valentine's Day, if you want to spend it with Ark and you hate yourself, there you go. Um,
Every
we also got
time-
yeah.
Never mind. Never mind.
Ah, what are you gonna say? Come on.
Just every time I launch that game, I'm expecting it to be better than the last time I launched it, and it just never is. Like the UI specifically looks unfinished every time. I'm like, how the fuck are they using Times New Roman in the UI? And just everything just looks bad. I'm like, what's happening here? What's happening?
Especially when you got a game like Grounded that is also available on Game Pass, another
Yeah.
survival game, which is fucking excellent.
Exactly.
Which,
And
by the way, we should probably play that some more because I
excellent
like that
and
game.
not even finished yet.
Yeah,
Whereas
we should probably play that game, by the way, because that game's really good.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Ark looks like dog shit. I don't think Ark's ever looked good. Every preview I see of it, like shows the game off. I'm like, is this it? Like, why do people
Well,
like this game?
When they show it, it looks awesome. But then when you play it, it's like, what the fuck is this? This isn't what you showed me. It's just
disagree.
like the other game we were talking about, Craftopia. Like when they show
Oh,
that shit in
yeah.
the trailers, it looks fucking awesome. And you load it up and you're like, dude, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I mean, there you go. Like I said, for Valentine's Day, if you don't have a date, you hate yourself, play Ark. But also, you can play a good game that's coming out on Valentine's Day. Infernax is also dropping cloud console and PC for Game Pass February
What is
14th.
that? You sound like you know what that is.
So it's a 2D platformer inspired by Castlevania.
Okay.
And it's made by Berserk Studios. They're an old studio. They used to make Flash games back in the day. They made Home Run and Berserk Land, and I can't remember what else. It's the only one I've played from them. But Infernax was announced quite a while ago. They're developing it, but it's being published by Arcade Crew, which they did Blazing Chrome. So, you know, there's some stuff backing them up.
Okay.
Yeah. Infernax, though, it looks really good. It's very heavily inspired by Castlevania, which you'll see when you load it up. And it has a ton of different treasures to collect that can affect the game, ways to upgrade your character. It's very bloody, which is really cool to see. I like bloody pixel graphics. Don't know why. That's like an aesthetic that always ticks boxes for me. It kind of reminds me a bit if you wanted to cross like Dante's Inferno mixed with Castlevania, mixed with like Dark Souls. That's kind of what you're with a day-night cycle and an upgrade system and a merchant system. That's kind of what you're looking at here.
Oh, it's like classic Castlevania. It's like
Yeah,
Castlevania
classic Castlevania.
2, almost.
Yes. So it's classic Castlevania. So Castlevania 2, not quite Metroidvania, but still a bit more open than the original Castlevania games. It looks cool. I remember seeing this get announced forever ago. Alpha Omega Gamer did a video on it. Not Alpha Omega Sin, Alpha Omega Gamer. No, Alpha Beta Gamer, I think is what he's called. He basically looks at games that are in beta. He gets like beta codes from game developers and he kind of shows off the game. Complete zero commentary. He just shows the game off. So you might like that channel. But I heard about this a year ago, a year and a half ago. He did a little playthrough on it and it looked really cool. I really, really liked what I was looking at with it. And I'm actually really excited to play this game. February 14th is the release date. So it's releasing on Game Pass. So another reason, man, to have Game Pass. Like if you own a PC, you should have Game Pass. Even if you can't run all the huge games that are on there, you could a game like Infernax, you could run that on anything. Like
Run on a calculator.
Yeah, dude, everybody should have Game Pass, in my opinion. And those are just more reasons to excuse me. Those are just more reasons to get it. This is probably going to be like the big game I play that month. When that drops, like that week, I'll probably be talking about that game on the podcast because I've been excited for this game for a while. We also got some games with gold that are coming out in February. So with games with gold, which you would also have with your Game Pass subscription, we have Broken Sword 5, The Serpent's Curse coming out that'll be available between February 1st, February 28th. Aerial Knights Never Yield, that will also be available for games with gold February 16th to March 15th, so a little bit later. Aerial Knights Never Yield actually looks pretty cool. I've never heard of it, but looking at the gameplay, it looks neat.
I think it's like a short little like music-based endless runner,
which I'm okay with, like a little thing like that. Hydrophobia is going to be available between February 1st to the 15th. Hydrophobia, that came out forever ago. That's like a survival horror, a short indie survival horror. We're trying to escape from water.
Hold on, man.
What?
This fucking game they're showing the trailer. This guy walks out with a helmet on and a pizza box, and then pulls a gun out of the pizza box.
What? Rewind that. Hold on.
I'm sorry. It's so random.
That's so silly, dude. The way he's got like the bike helmet. Oh my god, that looks silly. That's Broken Sword, huh? I'm gonna check that one out.
It looks like a point and click adventure game. That's gonna get me to just find that and download that. That alone.
We also got a Band of Bugs. That was an Xbox 360 Microsoft Studios game. Band of Bugs looks okay. It's a multiplayer puzzle-based like strategy game. Looks all right. But the fact that like these games are all included on top of like all the cool shit we're getting for Game Pass, dude, like why even bother with like PlayStation at this point, dude? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Sony? Like, catch up, dude. Gotta catch up, dude. Catch up, Sony. What are you doing, man?
I would be offended if like Sony was giving me that shit when I knew just around the corner, or on the other side of the street, Microsoft is giving like, especially when they say, okay, but if you don't have a PS5, you're not going to get this game. You're just fuck you. So now you only just
Dude,
get, you
yeah.
just get two
Look
games.
at these games. A lot of these games came out in the 360 and they're available on Xbox One and Xbox One S.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, the fact that Sony can't do that pisses me off, dude. Every fucking podcast where we talk about Game Pass, it ends up, every podcast we end up sucking Game Pass's dick and then shitting on Sony. Every podcast, it happens without fail. And it's with good reason, though. Look at the value we're getting with Game Pass, dude. Look at the value we're getting with Game Pass, and then look at like the value you're not getting with PlayStation.
Like,
I can't imagine.
These games aren't as new, but they're still,
they're still pretty decent games. Yeah,
you can play them on whatever the fuck you have too.
Exactly.
Maybe not PC, but
the fact that they're there, and on top of that, you have Game Pass, and you have this other huge library of games. Fucking, I can't imagine. I'm able to run this on hardware I already have. I don't have to go out and buy a Microsoft machine to run these.
Yeah.
Well, those specifically I probably can't, but Game Pass, like, it works on my existing PC. If you have the cloud, it'll work on your cell phone. Like, I don't have to go out and buy a new Xbox to play those games. But I do if I want to play these PlayStation games. I have to have a PS4 and a PS5. I want to play all those games that are available. Like, what the fuck, man? Why are you doing this to me? Oh, God. It drives me nuts that, like, I hope whatever the service PlayStation does, it's able to compete with Game Pass. Maybe not in the amount of games. They can go back and look at some of the older games that they have that would make it worth it. But also, let me play it on whatever the fuck I want, dude. Let me play on my PC. I'll be happy.
Remember they put out the little PlayStation collections thing and quickly forgot about it, as did everyone else. But they are doing, I don't know if they're still doing it because they haven't said anything about it since they announced it, but there was a whole PlayStation collection thing where you can go on there and you can get like Uncharted and like whatever they offered on there, that was pretty much on there. And they
talked about when the PS5 came out, they had that like
I forgot what it was called. It was called like PS Plus Collection or something.
Yeah, I remember that. It was still available when my brother last year, I told you my brother came into town, he loaned me his PS5 so I can play some of those exclusives. And I was actually that was still up. I was able to like use my PS Plus subscription to get those games. Okay. So when I buy a PS5, I have those games already. So I don't know if it's still up now, but it was like last year, like late last year.
It might be up. They just don't talk about it, or if they're adding stuff to it or like anything, they just don't. They just put it out and forgot about it, and just
that would be so cool to see, dude. If they can like add more to it, I think that already would be enough, I think, to compete.
Yeah.
If they made it available for everything and they kept adding games to it, that'd be cool. But I don't know. Nintendo Switch, it's better than Switch Online, so
Oh yeah.
I guess they're not the worst, but I don't know. We'll see though. We'll see what I'm going to keep shitting on PlayStation obviously until they do something, but we'll see what happens. And I'm not like a PlayStation hater. I own a PS4. I picked the PS4 over an Xbox One. But I'm like able to recognize that, like, dude,
it's just
Xbox got it good right now.
I wonder if people are going to turn around on PS5 and Xbox Series X like they did with the Xbox One and PS4. Like towards the end of PS4's life, they fucking really turned that shit around.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that's going to happen with PS5. Like, people are going to finally realize that, no, like, Xbox is really doing some good shit here.
Yeah, I would love to see that. We'll see, though. Unless PlayStation can pull something out of their ass. But like we said earlier, dude, they're playing catch-up right now. They got they're working on the service, but how's that service going to work? Is it going to be a multi-platform? Will I be able to use it on PC like Game Pass? Because if not, don't even fucking bother. I want to boot up my PS4, you know. But we'll see. We'll see what they can do. And some quickie news. We have a couple. You know, we like to do these quickies every week too. Just small stories that still warrant some mention. Maybe not full discussion, but some mention. Blizzard announced that they are working on a survival game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to take place in any existing Blizzard universe from one of their IPs, but it's a thing that's happening. I'm kind of iffy on survival games, honestly. With the trend, every game was a survival game right before everything turned to a battle royale. I'm not sure if a survival game can really do really well in this gaming climate, but we'll see. I mean, if it's good, I'll be the first one to say, you know, I was wrong, but
Yeah.
we'll see, man.
I think it just depends on what they're like making here because like Grounded is very unique and different,
Yeah,
but it's still a survival game. But it's like it's unique enough that it captured my interest, captured your interest,
that's true.
and you know I fucking hate survival games. um, so like they could do something. Blizzard's usually pretty innovative when they're making something that in a genre that already exists. Like look at Overwatch. It
Yeah,
kind of
but
came
nobody's
out in
playing
a,
Overwatch anymore.
well, not anymore because they kind of you know dropped the ball on certain things. But when it
Yeah,
came out, that market was already kind of saturated when it came out, and
that's
they kind
true.
of reinvigorated that whole hero shooter thing. So
That's true. And now that Microsoft bought out Activision Blizzard, you know, we can now they have some new leadership. You know, if they kick out some of that old leadership, you can play these games guilt free, man. But I refuse to play a Blizzard game till they rectify what they did. And those of you who listen to the podcast, you know what they did. I'm not gonna re-explain it,
yeah,
but
we're not going to see anything of this for at least a couple years. So,
yeah,
but they're hiring up. So if you're
yeah,
an artist or something and you're looking for a job in video games, maybe you know hit up Blizzard.
yeah. Unless you're a
Uh,
woman, then
unless you're a
don't.
woman or black, then
Or
probably don't.
black or trans. Basically, if you're not a straight white guy, just don't apply at
Yeah,
Blizzard.
yeah. Just apply at Bungie instead. They're also
Yeah.
hiring up. So
Yep. We also got Crytek is announcing a new Crysis game. So that's cool. I mean, I never played Crysis, but people like them. So we'll see
yeah,
what they do with this. Is this going to be like a new like benchmark setter like Crysis 3 was? Because
hopefully,
Crysis
because
4 didn't do that really.
I've been wanting a game on PC that really just doesn't try to adhere to well the consoles for one thing because these games come out and they're like they're supposed to be the greatest fucking game ever made. It's gonna be the new benchmark for fucking, but then it comes out on consoles as well. So you have to cater
Yeah.
to like Cyberpunk or like Witcher 3. Like
Yeah.
these were games that you know were supposed to be the climax of fucking what's possible, or even like what's not possible today. But in the future, you'll be able to run this. That's what Crysis was. It was that game where it was like, no, this you're not gonna be able to run this today, but like in 6 years, you're gonna run it. um, so like I want that game. I want that game to come out and just
Yeah.
like I think that game right now is Star Citizen, but that's not really a game
And
yet.
Microsoft Flight Sim too, right?
Flight Sim, yeah, yeah, and that is on consoles, but they have like it is pretty up there in terms of what like requirements. Um, but yeah, so I'm hoping they haven't really said anything about this other than it's happening. So
Yeah.
Crisis was like a lot of people forget, but Crisis was like aside from its visuals, it did set a new standard in terms of gameplay, where
Yeah.
it was that like open-ended sandboxy type shit. Like you have this
Yeah.
game to blame for your Far Cries,
Exactly.
and to like a lesser extent, like your Horizon Zero Dawns and Metal Gear Solid Fives and shit like that. Yeah, like Crysis was doing that shit before. Like it was really the first one to kind of open people's eyes to that sort of
Yeah,
gameplay style.
yeah. The engine was, Crytek is well, not the
Yeah,
it's not Crytek the company, and then I think the engine that they used was called the Crysis engine because
yeah,
it was built to run that kind of game.
yeah,
So yeah, that is something that we do owe to it, and a new Crysis with modern day hardware if they try to push the envelope on what's possible in terms of gameplay and graphical fidelity. I would love to see it. This might be, if they play their cards right, this could be that actual like next gen experience, but
yeah.
I doubt it. I don't hold my breath for this kind of stuff anymore. I don't get excited
They've
for
been working on
2021.
Hunt Showdown, which a lot of
Yeah,
people really love. I haven't gotten to try it much, but
I
I
haven't got to
heard
try it
very
at
good things
all,
about it. Yeah,
but I've heard some good things too. Yeah.
they do say they're working on stuff for that as well. So
So we'll see. And some other news, the Steam Deck is launching February 25th. So pretty soon.
yeah,
You can wishlist it now, put down a $5 pre-order for it. Um, I like the Steam Deck. I like the idea of the Steam Deck, man. Um, I really want one. I kind of want to get a Steam Deck over like any of the current gen systems. Is that weird?
no, I've this is the out of everything that's out right now. I have my payment down for this. Well, the five
Yeah,
dollars for it.
the
So
deposit. Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready to get mine in like 6 months when my turn is up. So
Yeah, this looks really cool. I would love to check this out. And it's pretty like pricing's pretty fair, man. Like $400, you get the 64 gig model. 530, get the 256 gig model, or 650, get the 512 gig model.
yeah, especially since there's other devices that are handheld PCs and they're doing very well for themselves. They look really good, but those things are in like the $1,000 range.
Yeah.
So
Now,
and
this is a much more respectable price, and the fact that it does come with like, you can get a dock with it, run it to your
yeah,
to external displays.
and just
There's some cool shit here.
the level of integration that you get with the Steam
Yeah.
OS with this device, as opposed to trying to fucking fumble with like Windows on like a handheld, is I think the experience is something I think a lot of people take for granted in something
Yeah.
like this
And
because
this is speaking of which, like I'm probably if I get one, I'm probably gonna end up like installing Microsoft on it anyway. Just
we talked
for
about this in Discord. I don't think you're going to do that. You're not going to
I
do
want
that.
to. I want to.
You
I
can
want to
do
play
it.
Game Pass. I want to play Game Pass games.
I'm
I
telling you,
want to play my Game Pass games on the
the
go.
experience you're gonna have just trying to do that, just trying to find like a USB to like format your drive and then uh, partition your hard drives and just to do all that shit. It's a fucking nightmare. To do it even on like a PC is a nightmare. So like just like try installing like Linux on like an old laptop that you have. It's fucking like terrible. It's terrible.
I mean, we'll see. I definitely won't have the time, but no, jokes aside, I would love to do it just so I could like get those Game Pass games on there, dude. So much of my life is revolving around Game Pass. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
But now this looks cool. I really like that this is so if you're one of those first early adopters, like February 25th, it's dropping, man. I can't wait. I want to see what the reviews are. Early
Yeah.
reviews on it have been pretty good so far. People have managed to get their hands on it and play it a little bit.
Yeah, but those have all been like very contained environments. I want to see
Yeah,
someone really just have this thing, bust it open, try to install Windows on it, so you can see that it's not a thing that you're gonna want to do. Uh,
exactly.
yeah,
And yeah, I'm excited to see this coming out. I think it's a really cool little device. And again, I definitely want this over over fucking any of the current gen systems.
yeah,
We also got another quickie. Dark Souls PvP servers have been shut down due to ongoing PC issues. This came from Dark Souls' Twitter account. They came up and flat out said, "Hey, PvP's down for Dark Souls 3, 2, and Dark Souls Remastered. It's a temporary deactivation. The team's working on some investigating some recent reports of some online issues." It's funny that happened. These games are so fucking old now. Like
Well, the thing, like, someone found out how to do an exploit uh, for, I think it's remote code execution, where basically they can get into your PC
Oh
by
shit.
remotely executing code, as the name suggests, on your PC when you connect to someone in PvP, they can fuck you up by doing stuff to you, and they've known about it for like months, I think, and they've been reporting it for months, and
Just now do something about it.
they're now addressing it, and it doesn't seem like so they put out that tweet on the 23rd of January,
Yeah.
and they have not tweeted anything after that. So I would assume that the servers are still down. It only affects PC, so the consoles are fine. But I think they also discovered that Elden Ring has the same exploit. So
Oh no.
yeah, so I think that's why they're
Oh
like,
no.
or it might have the same exploit just because of the playable versions of that have been out. So they're like, oh no, yeah, this looks like it has it too. So interesting stuff.
Jesus.
Interesting stuff. Maybe for some people this is a positive because maybe they don't
Yeah.
want to be invaded while they're playing
Yeah.
their game. Uh,
Yeah, man. And it's if the issues are this bad that it's getting remote access to your PC, like it's probably a good idea to shut that shit down.
yeah,
I mean, we'll see what happens. They can get it resolved. Hopefully, it says they'll resolve it shortly, but this shit's been down since like the 23rd of January, so it's been like more than a week already. So we'll see what happens, man. We also got a new article about the future of Hyperscape from Ubisoft. If you guys remember, Hyperscape was announced fucking forever ago. Actually, maybe not that long ago. It's just so forgettable. It feels like forever ago.
I think it's been at least 2 years
Yeah.
now. Uh, they're shutting it down because no one fucking liked the game.
Yeah. I'm not
So
surprised.
they're shutting it down. I remember I played it. I mean, the interesting part of it was the verticality. Like,
Yeah.
it really emphasized getting up on like the rooftops and shit, and parkouring across the roofs and doing stuff. So like that was cool, but other than that, it was just a very generic battle royale game. Basically, just trying to capitalize off of the battle royale trend that was happening at the time. So
Yeah.
turns out that never really works for people. So this is yet another battle royale game that's getting shut down
Yeah.
uh, because it was just trying to follow the trend. So they're
Yeah, and I
saying,
said this earlier. I was like, I remember when this game got announced, I was like, another battle royale game. It looks cool, but is that enough to differentiate it? Turns out it's not. Like,
uh,
so I totally forgot this game existed until they told us they were shutting it down.
yeah. So
God.
April 28th will be its final day.
Yeah, so for the half a dozen of you that are still playing, you got you guys got till April
I don't even think
28th.
I'd have that much to be honest.
Oh man. Also some quickies. The Steam Lunar New Year sale has been live. It's good till February 3rd, so you guys got 2 more days. Pick up some games here.
Yeah.
There's quite a few games on sale here, man. Neo 2 is really good. That's one that I've played that I really liked. Resident Evil Village is half off right now. I think
But
DJ Max Respect is like $15 too. So
15 bucks right now.
yeah,
Get it. It's the best rhythm game ever. So if you like rhythm games or you like music games in general, it's very much worth it. 15 bucks. That game's like a expensive game.
yeah.
Like that and all the DLC. It's like you can get like above like 100 bucks easily.
Oh my
But
god, the entire Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombie Chronicle is like $20.
no.
I know it's garbage, but I think I want it. I don't know. Like Call of Duty Zombies is like a guilty pleasure for me. So seeing it's like
Really?
only $20 for yeah. So seeing that like the entire like Black Ops Call of Duty Zombies thing is like $20, I might pick it up, but we'll see. Or I'll be able to pick up DJ Max Respect. You've been telling
Yeah.
me to get that forever.
Good.
We also got Bloodborne Demake, I should say, has been released. We talked about this a while ago. It was a proof of concept. Someone had basically did a demake of Bloodborne to run on a PS1, or to look like it's running on the PS1, I should say. And it's released. It's here, available to play. This straight up just looks like Nightmare Creatures, which, I mean, yeah, Nightmare Creatures. Just you could argue Bloodborne looks like Nightmare Creatures. Um, but no, this looks cool. It's available. It's available to play, and I'm impressed that this proof of concept actually turned into something.
Fucking looks insane.
Yeah, dude. Again, this looks like. Have you heard of Nightmare Creatures?
No.
It's this. I'm gonna show you Nightmare Creatures, dog. Hold on.
I wonder if like wondering how much of this game is in here actually. Let me see if there's any videos.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna put Nightmare Creatures in the stream chat here. There's a long play provided by Silnig Games. Or just Silnig. I remember playing this game back in the day. I think I played on the N64. Maybe I'm making that up. Hold on. Quick Googling.
Footage from Lobos Jr. Don't copyright strike me. Gameplay here. Nightmare Creatures. PS1. See, I don't like PS1 is a gap in my knowledge of games just because I never had one. So, like sometimes
I
I
had
go back.
one.
Okay.
Yeah. I had one, but the thing is, it was my dad had a PS1 and I had the N64, is how he would do it. The Nintendo games would be for the kids, and he would have the PlayStations, Xboxes, stuff like that. And I remember playing Nightmare Creatures, believe it or not, not on the PS1, but on the N64. And it looks exactly the same. Like, this straight up looks like Nightmare Creatures.
They've got chapters here. Man, remember these fucking games, dude? Like these just era of game is just
It's gone.
yeah.
The kind of janky game, but the whole game was built around like the really good ones. There's the problem with these older 3D games. Um, they had some jank. I'm not gonna lie, but the game was built around the jank. The good ones were built around the jank, so they were okay to play because the game was built around it. That's my defense for like Resident Evil and the fucking the tank controls. The whole game was built around tank controls, so it was fine to play.
Yeah.
It wasn't cheap. And same thing with Nightmare Creatures. I mean, the game was built around these janky controls, and the hit stun and the combo system was built around to like combo lock enemies, and it was built around that. So I would argue this game probably would still play pretty well. I haven't played it since I was like, God, maybe 8 or 9, but I bet this game still feels pretty good to play because the whole game's built around its limitations.
I will say this game is running incredibly solid for
Yeah.
what it looks like. I mean, it's like a really good frame rate on this. I don't know if this is on actual hardware or
I remember the game running pretty smooth on PS1 because I remember my dad rented it on PS1. So he rented it on N64 initially, that's all they had. And then after playing it for a little while, he went and rented it on PS1. And I remember it running a little bit smoother on PS1 than N64, but I might be wrong. Like, I was a kid, I couldn't really comprehend it, but I remember looking at it and being like, oh, this game looks different. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't describe that it was like, oh, the frame rate's smoother. It was just the game
yeah.
looks faster, is how I imagined it. That's not what was happening. So I think the game does just naturally run that well on native hardware, but I'm not sure. A lot of old PS1 games like ran at like 60 FPS, believe it or not. At least some of the smaller ones like Nightmare Creatures and God, I can't remember. There's like another one. I think Metal Gear Solid ran at 60 FPS, right? Or am I making that up?
I don't know. I know Ocarina of Time ran at like 20 when they
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe why that shit looks so good to me is because running better.
Maybe. But yeah, this straight up. I mean, it looks cool. It looks like Nightmare Creature, so I might check that out and get some nostalgia going for a game I never played. Um, but it looks cool. We also got some new trailers and videos. Elden Ring got a presentation at the Taipei Game Show 2022. It's like a 40-something minute presentation, so
Yeah,
if you want to
I don't.
watch
I
that,
just
do
put
my
this in here because
best.
it was Elden Ring, and
Yeah.
the game just looks good. But
It does look good. It kind of reminds me of like, so this looks like a dark twisted Breath of the Wild to me. And I know like a lot of
yeah,
people are
okay,
saying like, a lot of people are saying like, I know you're especially your beef is why does everything have to be Breath of the Wild? But no, hear me out. Like this is open enough, and it has enough like of these random elements and ways to kind of
yeah,
tackle things at your own discretion. It's got that like Breath of the Wild like gameplay design. It doesn't have the paragliders, doesn't have climbing, but
yeah.
it has like enough of that spirit, I should say, that I can
Yeah.
compare it to that.
The umbrage I take with the Breath of the Wild comparisons come from the gameplay when they're like, oh, it's Breath of the Wild. Like, no, you can say it looks like Breath of the Wild or has the spirit of Breath of the Wild. When you say like, oh, it's what we wanted all along. It's Breath of the Wild, but this, like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Um,
that's kind of what the vibe I'm getting with this. Like, it's obviously it's not Breath of the Wild, but
yeah,
there are some inspirations from it with how open the area is, how you
yeah,
can kind of tackle things at your own discretion. Um, I saw some gameplay for it, and I'm like, this game looks really cool. I'm not even a big fan of like these Souls-like games, but this open world design that they're putting into it, this open world adventure design, I should say, they're putting into it, looks really cool. I really like it. And I forgot to mention this game's written by George R. R. Martin, the Game of Thrones guy.
yeah.
I don't know how much of his writing is actually like reflected in this game, but it's still cool to see. Like
Like,
this looks cool. Yeah.
I don't know anything about the game other than how it looks. Like every time I see a trailer of this game, I'm just super impressed by like the vision, like the presentation of it. Just fucking blows me away.
You should check out Iron Pineapple. He's a YouTuber. He
Okay.
does reviews. His main thing is like Souls likes. He likes talking about Souls likes and like obscure like Dark Souls lore. But he did a video talking about Elden Ring. I guess he got like an invite for the beta, and he does a thing talking about it. And he goes into some depth with it, like comparing it to other Dark Souls games and how the open world elements work in this setting. And he convinced me to check it out. So look him up. He's called Iron Pineapple. Even if you like don't like Dark Souls like me, I'm not a huge Souls fan, but his videos are entertaining. That I still subscribe to him and watch out stuff when it comes out.
I mean, I don't need any convincing because just watching this shit is enough convincing I need. Like the
Yeah.
game could be totally shit, but like
What's cool is
the
that he goes into
visuals.
so the visuals are nice, but what does he goes into depth of like how it feels to play this game, how the open world stuff works, and it reminds me of Breath of the Wild the way he was describing it. Just the
Yeah.
way you can get to go anywhere, do anything, you adventure. It reminds me of that. So this looks cool. That's set to come out. Fuck, when's that coming out? Do you remember?
I
Like end of
don't.
February, right? Hold on.
I think like soon, yeah.
Yeah, I want to say like end of February. Hold on. Elden Ring State. Yeah, February 25th. So there we go. This looks good. I might actually look into this. In a less impressive Souls-like game, we got Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy
All right,
Origin.
okay, so here's why I put this trailer here is
Yeah,
because and you probably haven't seen this trailer is why you're saying
I have
that.
not.
This trailer turned me around completely on this fucking game.
Get the fuck out of here. Are you
I'm
serious?
telling you, yes, dude.
All right. Let's see. I'm playing this now. Let's see. Let's
This
see.
trailer is fucking incredible for one reason is because it knows how stupid it is. They
Yeah.
know how stupid it is, dude, and I love it.
I reminds me of that meme when the first trailer dropped and people were just memeing on how many times he said chaos and how like edgy he was.
Yeah, turn up, look, listen to the soundtrack.
I am.
It's a dead giveaway. It hasn't started
Just
yet.
tell us about the
But
Yeah, so the
like,
first 30 seconds have like Final Fantasy music is what it sounds like.
but like the way they're presenting this is like, okay, yeah, it's just a fucking stupid Final Fantasy game. This game looks like it looks like Kingdom Hearts, but for like not for
Like
Disney
edgy,
adults, for like edgy adults.
mid 2000s. Like if you listen to Headstrong by Trapped unironically, this game was made for you.
Yes, exactly.
If you think the first Daredevil movie was good, this game was made for you.
Yeah,
If your favorite character in video games is Shadow the Hedgehog, this game was made for you.
yeah, exactly. And they know that, and they're like
They're leaning
catering
into
to that
it, yeah.
audience. And it's like this turned me around in this game, dude. I'm like, dude, I'm ready. I'm like, I need to play this. It just, I don't know.
The gameplay
But-
looks pretty neat. It kind of reminds me of Neo a little bit with how aggressive the gameplay is.
Yeah, like this one trailer like tells me everything I need to know about this game in terms of what it's gonna be. Like, I don't know. Like every other time they showed this game, it just looked like some generic bullshit. Like, what the fuck is this? But it's actually interesting. I'm actually interested in this now. And I don't know anything about Garland aside from like he was like the baddest motherfucker in Dissidia. I only know him from Dissidia, the like Final Fantasy like 1v1 fighting game.
Oh, I remember that.
Like I remember
Oh
Garland.
my god, the video ends with My Way from Frank Sinatra. This is
Yeah.
like, okay. I can see this being fun. Did you see like how bad this game got memed though? Did you see that? God, there's this meme. I guess there's a bit in the demo where some girl like asks him for help, and she's like, "I need your help," and he's like, "Fuck you," and he puts on some headphones and walks away. And
Yeah.
someone edited like a fucking like drowning pool into it, and someone else edited god damn it, I can't fucking remember. You know those other like mid 2000s new metal bands that that
Yeah.
wanted to copy Linkin Park and did the
Godsmack.
rock and rapping thing. Godsmack, fucking God, what's another one that's really bad? Fucking Drowning Pool, Godsmack. Well, not bad, but they're definitely a product of their time.
30 Seconds to Mars. I don't know.
They're not 30 Seconds to Mars, but God, I'm trying to think. It's so forgettable. Fucking Trapped is another one. Jesus Christ. I'm just gonna find some of those clips. They're fucking funny.
Yeah, no, I'm down with this now.
I might check this out. Limp Bizkit. That's another one. Hold
Oh,
on. I'm
yeah.
gonna find the clip. Look at this.
I don't know. Just this trailer, it's like they should have started with this, and I'd have been like, okay, no, I get you. I see what you're doing
So-
here.
This fucking scene cracks me up so hard, even without the music. Like the way this plays out is like so goddamn funny and like edgy for no reason.
Heroes would defeat me, and thus bring an end to this.
Hope the music
empty
doesn't like
dream.
copyright strike us, but
Probably will.
bullshit.
what the funniest fucking thing? Like that's all I've been seeing of this game, so that's why I wanted to skip it because it's like this edgy, kind of cringy. If this game had come out in like 2005, I'm sure it would have been fine, but
No, I think
we've evolved
they-
past the
They've got
era
perfect
of
timing
edge.
right now. It's perfect timing.
We'll see. Maybe if it's on Game Pass, I might check it out, but we'll see. Also, in a move that surprised everybody, KO the Kangaroo got an announcement trailer.
Yeah.
I forgot KO the Kangaroo was a thing, and now it's getting a new game.
Now, I was not around when this game came out. I mean, I was around, but like
I was
as
around, but
far
I didn't
as
play it. I was playing good games.
yeah, I
But
remember this came and went. But you say that, but this looks good though.
this does look good. I'll be honest, this looks good.
I mean,
I haven't played it. I've heard the older games were like okay. You know, they weren't gonna beat like your Mario 64s or your Spyros, but they were
yeah.
okay. But this looks really good. I like this.
Just in terms of like 3D platformers, because one, you don't see a lot of those these days,
Yeah.
and just looks like a good one of those, like a Crash Bandicoot, almost. Yeah, like like a new Crash Bandicoot came out, and a lot of people talked about that. But I
Even though
heard
that looked amazing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I was watching gameplay for the new Crash Bandicoot. I'm like, this looks fucking incredible. Like, maybe you want to go back and play Crash Bandicoot.
So
But this
like
looks cool.
this looks really
Yeah.
fun. Like I'm always like the biggest apologist for these games. I don't know why, but like they're
I mean, I can see
fun.
why. They're
3D
trying something
platformers is
different.
just fun. I don't
Yeah.
know, they're like junk food games where like it's hard to make a bad one. At least these days when you're doing it on purpose, right?
Yeah.
Like ukulele is probably one of my favorite recent ones, where people kind of just like scoff at it, like it's like something lesser. But I don't know, those games are just fun.
It's funny you mentioned ukulele because like a lot of people like scoff at the mainstream audience like scoffed at it. But if
Yeah,
you look at like the 3D platform community, like people who, other YouTubers have talked about 3D platformers, people who actually like 3D platformers who know the genre, it's gotten some pretty decent reviews.
games are
Um,
great.
A Hat in Time still like performed better
Hat in
than it
Time,
with most
yeah.
people, yeah. And I liked Hat in Time. I got it on Switch and it's good. But yeah, so that's why this looks pretty cool. I might actually check this out. This looks like fun. I've been looking for. I haven't played a good 3D platform in a while, so it'll be cool to check out. Also, we got a new trailer for Black Myth Wukong, kind
Okay,
of.
so
Um,
have you seen this?
yeah, I did. I loved it.
Okay,
I
this
loved
is
it.
probably the greatest piece of thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's so
Ever.
good.
Uh, Basically, the devs for Black Myth Wukong put out this real, like,
A
almost like a
comedy video.
documentary
Yeah,
type thing, talking about the development woes, or not even woes, that they're going through with making Black Myth Wukong. And this is the biggest troll piece of gaming content I've ever seen in my life, dude. But they like nail it, almost like that first Devolver E3 thing that they did.
yes, but what I like about this that it's played a lot straighter than the
Oh
Devolver
yeah,
thing.
oh yeah,
Like, there's a lot of times halfway through it where you're like, is this a joke? Like, I can't
yeah.
tell if this is a joke or not. Like, and it is so fucking funny. Like, I did some research on this bit. No one featured in this actually works for this company. Like, these are all
Yeah,
actors, all of them.
the
This
the
whole
names
thing
are
is made up.
real. The names are real, but
The names are real,
the people are
but
not.
yeah, nobody. Every time you see a picture video of someone working, it's an actor just pretend
Yeah,
acting. And this is some of the funniest shit I've ever seen. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. You should go
yeah,
watch it. It's really funny. It's really funny, and it's got me still excited for this game. This is a game that's been on our list for a while when it first got
yeah.
announced. It kind of took
But that's the
over.
thing. So the thing is, this studio, no one knows who the fuck these guys are. They just came out of
Yeah,
nowhere with this trailer, Black Myth Wukong, and it looked like the greatest fucking thing ever. Unreal
yeah,
Engine 5, like it was like the new shit. It was like the new hotness.
yeah,
So naturally, people were skeptical of like, there's no way that this game is like real or that it exists or that they could ever make this a no-name studio out of China. There's no way they can do it. So like, and I too was skeptical. I was like, okay, we'll see if it actually
yeah.
looks like this when it comes
Yeah,
out.
I was
Or
too. I was looking at it and I was like, this game looks really good. The movement's really fluid. The combat looks really decent. It's
yeah.
got like dodge canceling, guard canceling. I was really into what I was seeing, but I was still like, there's no fucking way. Like this no-name studio is making a game like this.
So
What's the catch here?
when they come out and make a video like this, where they are intentionally poking fun at themselves, kind of like, so like, yeah, so here's what we got from our motion capture data, and it's just all fucked up. They're
Yeah.
like, You're like,
Yeah, it's so
wait,
funny.
why are they
It's so
showing
funny.
this? And if you go to their website, they're like super humble about themselves. They're
Yeah.
like, look, guys, we've been kind of making games for a while now, and none of them has hit. And uh, we're very passionate about this, and we're very humble, and we hope that you enjoy what we put out. Like super humble
Yeah,
stuff,
they're really
like
cool.
on their website. So I'm just in the back of my mind, I'm like, they thought that like horror game. Remember that horror game that came out, and they were like, oh, this is a Kojima. This is definitely Kojima. If anything's fucking Kojima, it's this. Like I'm fully
Oh
convinced now.
yeah.
Like this has me convinced that like Kojima is like doing this behind the scenes or something, because these guys are just too on the nose about this, man. It's just I don't know what to think about it anymore. You
Yeah,
know?
same. Same. I'm still interested in the game too, and that's the best part. Like it's
Yeah.
still the hype is still there. Despite this like funny video, the hype is still there.
Yeah.
And I really want to check it out now.
And like
We'll have to wait and see.
no one's watched this video either. It only has like less than 25,000, which is like not a lot, especially for the hype surrounding this game.
Yeah.
Uh, so like I'm super just confused. This confused me even more about everything that's like happening around this game. So I'm but if you've not seen this trailer, I please watch this thing. Just
Yeah.
watch it. It's incredible.
Yeah. It feels like an April Fool's trailer,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's so good. But it's a really good April Fool's trailer is what it feels like.
And I'm like, how do you fucking have like the production? Where do you come up with the money to even like film this well? It's like I don't know what is the studio is, man. That's the thing. That's the biggest thing to me is like these guys put on this quality of a production for a joke when they have real work to do. uh like I don't even know if that's their real studio, but you see it like they cleaned it out and completely turned it into something like where do you find the money for like the set? If it's a set, I don't know. Anyway, you should
Yeah, I
watch
don't
this.
know.
You should watch this.
Yeah, it's good.
Incredible.
It's really good. Yeah, check it out. Anyone who's listening, like this is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
We got some releases too. Really light week for releases. February 1st today. The Life is Strange Remaster Collection is available on everything: PC, Switch, PS4, 5, Xbone, Xbone X, and
Yeah.
Stadia. So go check it out. You know, if you like Life is Strange,
$40 for that.
yeah, $40. It's completely remastered. They fixed not just graphical fidelity and some of the texture work. They also fixed some of the facial animation too, so the game looks a lot more cinematic.
Yeah.
It looks more up to current gen standards. It's funny because like even when the game came out, the facial animation wasn't the best. That was also a point of contention, I think, with people. Even when the
Yeah.
game came out, it still wasn't up to snuff with what modern standards were. So it's cool to see them clean that up on top of, you know, the lighting, texture work. Everything's getting a nice fresh coat of paint. And that's cool to see.
Now, the game itself, I don't want to throw shade on this game because
Yeah,
it was very impactful for
what it
what
is.
these
Yeah.
types of games were doing. But
But it is
I
another point and click adventure game. Like it's a
yeah,
Telltale style point and click game. So
yeah. But like I feel like it could have been way better.
yeah.
Once you realize that your choices actually don't matter,
Yeah.
not I don't want to like spoil anything, but like I don't know, it was a disappointment to me in terms of the mechanics surrounding the story elements of the game. But that's neither here nor there. It's a good experience if you never played it.
Yeah, I agree. Um yeah, I just don't go into it with like too many expectations. Like
Yeah,
this
well,
game won Game of the Year awards, and I don't think it deserved them. If I'm being honest,
it's very highly regarded.
Yeah,
And I disagree. I'm just gonna
I
say.
do too. Story wise, the story's good. Don't get me wrong. Like, the story's really good. If this was like a movie or like a series on streaming, I'd be all into it. But
Yeah,
the fact that it's a game, I gotta judge it like it's a game. And honestly,
yeah,
I'm gonna come right out and say it. I think like Wolf Among Us did the same thing but better. You know, it's not a time travel story game, but I will
always the
argue
one
that
you
like
bring up. I always
it's a
bring up
good game.
Tales from the Borderlands. Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
But Tales from the Borderlands is better.
That's it. Yeah, it's on my list.
Yeah.
I played the first episode of Tales from the Borderlands actually.
Yeah.
Not
What-
recently, but forever ago when it first
Oh.
came out, and I did like it. And I did really like it, and I actually wanted to mention that the story, you don't have to. It's Borderlands. It's a Borderlands game, yeah, but honestly, the story that's being told, you can fit that in like Star Wars, Star Trek, Firefly. Like, you could put that in any like sci-fi story, and it'll still
Yeah.
work.
But that's the thing. Tales from the Borderlands makes a story out of Borderlands that
Yeah.
you actually care about.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's
at
actually funny.
times, yeah.
So
You laugh, you cry. It makes you cry. It made me cry a little bit. I was like, oh no. It's like, it's good, man. It's fucking good.
yeah, I got it. I mean, you gave it to me for Christmas, so I'll definitely play it.
Yeah.
I promise you, I will play it.
I want to play through it again just so I can. It's been a while.
But yeah, so Life is Strange. You know, other games have done it better. Tales from the Borderlands. I will argue the first season of The Walking Dead was phenomenal. Fucking what else? You know, again, Wolf Among Us did it very well. So go into this with your expectations kind of tapered a little bit. But it's there if you want to play. It's available now. February 4th, we got Dying Light 2. Stay Human. That's dropping. Everything as well. PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbone, Xbone X.
Yeah.
It's this looks good.
The
Yeah, Dying
PC
Light 2 looks
version-
incredible.
The PC version does have De Novo. I think that came out recently. It does De Novo. People are upset.
Yeah, I would be too. Especially since like I don't think the first Dying Light had any DRM.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm trying to think back and I don't think it did. But yeah, so Dying Light 2 is coming out February 4th. That looks good. I mean, I talked about that game. Every time I see a trailer for that game or gameplay of it, it looks incredible. So we'll see what happens with it. Maglam Lord is also coming out February 4th. That's coming out on Switch and PS4. I've never heard of this game. What is this?
It's a side-scrolling RPG, I think. It was only in Japan for a while, and now it's finally coming to the States.
That fucking game is $40. This does not look like a $40 game. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh.
Hold on. I'm going to see some gameplay here. What is this? Oh, there's no videos on this fucking... What the fuck, Nintendo? You can't afford to put videos on your fucking site? I'm going to
That's
have to
why
look
I
this up.
usually
in a
link the
long time.
Steam page if there is one.
Yeah. I mean, if it's... I like action RPG, so if this is good... If it's got some, like, fighting game tech on it, I might be into it. I might fuck with this, but we'll see. But yeah, it's going to do it for the show, man. That's everything. Today was this is a good show. We had quite a bit to talk about. Is there anything else you want to hit on?
Nope. And, you can go to Gameoverse.com and you know what we have over there. You can go to Gameoverse.com/Twitch or Gameoverse.com/YouTube or Gameoverse.com/Discord. Guys, that's where we hang out and chat and shit. And
Yeah, guys,
you
come
can do
in,
that.
say hi. Yeah, come in, say hi, talk to us.
Yeah,
No, we're here.
post your memes and shit.
Yep.
That's what you
He
do.
doesn't like memes.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep playing Tales of Arise. I think. So
Yeah. Oh, I started playing Tales of Abyss. I wanted to go back and play that. It's still not good.
oh, well then.
Yeah, I'll talk about that next week.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna do it here, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks. Check out the show notes if there's anything interesting that you wanted to check out. We got everything linked in there, so you can do that. That's it.
That's it. Have a good night, everybody. Stay safe. Get vaccinated.